Yeah, Kamyamsichum, everyone. Shumeko, I think, I don't know if I have to say it again. Awat Kirmai Bahal Malati and Sarhalu Audi Malati Abzanai investment when it Serah Deloho and Lomi Demati Bagadamai Almas contact Geratini and the whole business topic has come Zailatini and idea Natik Antile, the art of business longevity. longevity እንታይ ማለት እዩ ከመይለን ቢዝነስ long term ይፀንሓ ሎሚ ድማ ቁሩብ ቶፒክ ኣብ ድኾነ ኢምፖርታንት ወይ ኢንትረስቲንግ ይድበልኩ ሒዘ መፅእ ኣለኹ and this brief እዩ ብሓፂሩ ኣብ ኩሉ ኣትየ ክዛረበ ሽዑ ኪወን ክህልወናይ ማለት እዩ the power of investing ኩሉ ግዜ ኣብ ፍናን ክመፅእ ኣለኹ ብዛዕባ ኢንቨስቲንግ እየ ዝዛረብ መብዛሕትኡ ግዜ and ሎሚ ድማ መእተዊ ኢለ ደምፃኽዎ እዚ ማለት እዩ ካብ 1992 ማለት እዩ ሓንቲ ዶላር ኢንቨስት ተገይራ ሎሚ ከባቢ 20 ሚልዮን ትኾን ማለት እዩ እዚ መጀመርያ እቲ ናይ ስቶክ ኤክስቼንጅ ተጀምረሉ ግዜ ማለት እዩ ከባቢ ነዊሕ ግዜ ገይሩ ደሎ ግን እዚ ከባቢ 8% ቀፃሊ ወሊዳ ኣብ ዝበፂሓ ማለት እዩ እዚ ሕጂ እንታይ እቲ ገንዘብ ኩሉ ግዜ ፓወርፉል እዩ እንድሕሪ ኢንቨስት ጌርካ but invested ጌርካ ግን ኩሉ ግዜ depreciate ይኸውን ማለት እዩ and erode ይኸውን in the last for example in the last 25 years euro is a euro ማለት እዩ against ወርቂ ከባቢ 9% lose ጌራላ ማለት እዩ ሕጂ ወርቂ ተድህልዋ ከነይሩ ከም ገንዘብ ማለት እዩ እቲ ገንዘብ ካብ ሞር መኸደ ዩሮ ተትህልዋ ሓንቲ ዩሮ ተትህልዋ ከነይራ 10 ሳንቲም ሒዝካ ምተረፍካ ማለት እዩ ኣብዘን 25 ዓመት ማለት እዩ so again ከአንታይ ንሪ ኣብ the last 5 years the US government ብዙሕ print ገይሩ እዩ ኣብዚ ናይ ኮሮና ማለት እዩ እቲ US ዶላር ሕጂ እታ 1 pound 1 ዶላር ዝነበረት ከባቢ 75 ሳንቲም ሕጂ ደላ ማለት 25% ኮይና ኣላ ማለት እዩ እዚ ሕጂ እንታይ ከይተረዳእና ናብ ድኽነት ድወስደና አይዲያ ይብሓፂሩ ሕጂ ስፔሻል ኣብዚ ግዜ ንምንታይ ኢለ ኢምፖርታንት ምት ኣለኹ if you ኣብዚ ዌስተርን ዓለም ክትሪኦ ከለኻ እቲ ዕዶም ይበዝሓሉ እቲ ሴንትራል ባንክ ድብሎ ማለት እቲ ሲስተም ነቲ ኢኮኖሚ ድቆፃፀሮ ዕዶም ይበዝሕ ተሎ እንታይ ድኸውን ነቲ ገንዘብ ይሕስርዎ ማለት እዩ ጂ ነቲ ዕዳ ኢንፍሌት ትገብሮ ሞ እቲ ገንዘብ ሽዑ ይሓስር ማለት ሕጂ እንታይ ክብል ለብዚ as a business ትኾንኩም እቲ ገንዘብኩም always after business invest ትግበርዎ ወይ ኢንቨስት ትግበርዎ more high return ትገብር ኢንቨስትመንት ኣሎ ወይ ካልእ ቢዝነስ ከተውፁ ትኽእሉ ትኾንኩም እንተደይ ኮይኑ ግን ኣብ ካሽ ኣይትግደፍዎ it has to generate at least some sort of like return ከባቢ 5% ድዩ 10% ድዩ ተኽኢልኩም ካብ 20-30 ክትውልድዎ ትኽእሉ ኣለኩም otherwise ገንዘብ ምስ ግዜ historically ተሪእኹም ገንዘብ devalue ኮይኑ ዳርጋ ይጠፊ መብዛሕትኡ ግዜ in the long term እዚ ገንዘብ ሕጂ ንሪኦ ዘለና ማለት እዩ historically it didn't exist መብዛሕትኡ ገሊስ evolve ገብሪ ከምዚ historically ማለት እዩ history of speculation historically ክንርኢ ከለና speculation ንርኢና ማለት እዩ ኣብ 16 ክፍለ ዘመን ማለት እዩ ኣብ ዳች ቱሎፕሚኒያ ድበሃል ነይሩ ከምዚ ፊየር ድበሃል ፊየር ሒዝካ ሕጂ ሰብ ከምዚ ነቲ ፊየር ክገዝኡ ኢሉ በቃ ገዝኡ ሸይጥ ገለገለ ነይሩ ማለት እዩ ሽዑ መወዳእታት ሲስተም ኮላፕስ ኮይኑ and ኩሉ ሰብ ማለት እቲ ባቡል ኮይኑ ከምዚ ባላንቺና ይነፋሕሞ and suddenly ትኮስ ማለት እዩ ሽዑ እቲ ክንደይ ሚሊዮን ተኸፈልካሉ ዋጋ ደይብሉ ክኸውን ማለት እዩ the same thing we see the South Sea bubble and 1920 crash ማለት እዩ ተንቀንዲ ንዝክረ እንተኮይና ዘ ዳትኮም ባብል ማለት እዩ ኣብ 2000 ዓመተ ምህረት ዘን ዳትኮም ድብላ ካምፓኒ ኩለን ምስ መፃ suddenly ኩሉ ዳትኮም ኢላ ትመፅእ ዝኾነ ነገር and it's system ማለት እዩ ኮላፕስ ኸውን ከምዚ ባብል ከምዚ ባላንቺን ኣይነፋሕምሽ and ሽዑ ቲ reality kick ገብር ማለት reality ኻ ቲ correction ይፍጠር ማለት እዩ ከምኡ ድማ 2008 housing market ርኢና ነርና ንድኾነ ሰብ ቶም ባንክ የለቅሕዎ ነይሮም ነቲ ኒንጃ ድሎ no income ወላ ደይብሎምሲ የለቅሕዎም ነይሮም ሽዑ እቲ housing market እንታይ ኮይኑ ኮላፕስ ኮይኑ ማለት እዩ ከባቢ 30-20% decline ኮይኑ so ኣብ 2017 ድማ ክሪፕቶ ቡም ርኢና ነርና ሕጂ ክሪፕቶ ኩሉ ግዜ ወዲ ሰብ ኮሚዩ ክሪፕቶ ይድብል ደሎ ሕጂ ወላ በቐዳይሲ ትራምፕ ኮይን ክሬት ገይሩ ከምዚ ትራምፕ ኮይን ድብል ኣብ ውሽጢ ክንደይ መዓልቲ ከባቢ 7 ቢልዮን በፂሑ ሕሰቦ እዚ ሕጂስ ከመይ መሲልኩም እዚ ናይ 7 billion كامباني خنبل كلناسي عب كامباني مالتي حجي حجي انتاي دريكا عب كمزي جيزة خنبتصح كلنا كل جيزة زي كمزي نجاراتي لي دخيت سب كمزي كم بالانش نايد نفح شعوجن تي reality مسمته إيتوكوس مالتي جي كل جيزة انتاي دخونا كريبتو خمزة لو investor جبر كنتون قول لكم مالتي as a business real business investor قولوا تفولتوا نجار مالتي real دخونا نجار حدش نجار ده يكونس real دخونا نجار نابنت the Lindy effect بلو Lindy effect تاي مالتي historically نابنت work in Bitcoin compare نقبرن historically work كبابي كندي عمت حموش عمت exist يري خابن فالتو where Bitcoin only 16 years old كان لها حجي the Lindy effect entitled historically we can trust more worky than Bitcoin because Bitcoin has to prove its existence because حدش system where work again كبابي حموش عمت مرت سبت تكيمو لي خم جزء مالتي حجي مبزحته سب question the قبر لقل is it artificial intelligence is it one of them not it's technology it's as an investment مالتي يدزار باللغة technology is great مبزحته سب يتكمل له كن as an investment is it a bubble حتى يريد بالله مبزحته سب and مبزحته بزن رأي لنا حجي bubble كوين اللغة correct خون نتبلنا مالتي كم نريد إحنا ولا بعلنا خنريد خلنا it seems to be بحاتيرو تن شوعات giant company نزغل عداقا نزغل economy حزنو دلوا Nvidia تريقهما alphabet كمزي كنت ترى عادي economy كوينا دلوا كوا ب3 trillion UK economy 3 trillion سكانها نستنى حزنو دلوا نزغل economy مالتي the power of compounding is حدا جزء حزيا مزين رزا slide كل جزء تكملها because I use it in every compounding is a powerful way of building wealth due كل تكمل عجنا compounding you can use it in business بحاتيو business نابنت انتليكا and if you can generate money and you can invest the money in the business over time it can compound it كخون خليتي business كخاب خلي مالتي at the same time after business أو خلها تمرسة لها tax يتغفل لنا so you always recycle it مالتي after business so أبزين تاينر يحجي حنتي pennies اندحر أب سلاس دبل جير كا أب سلاسة معالتي كبابي حموشنت ب3 مليون تخون مالتي جنتاي دريكاتي powerful مخاني خريكم دلبزي ولا ألبرت أينشتاين انتايلوا one of the greatest mathematical innovation لوا شالو captain greatest دخوناني لو and the key to make money grow is to invest and let it sit there untouched and uninterrupted عجنا بدت مبزحته سمتها حتى أو كم زندي مخوينو to market كم زندي خوينو it's a real compounding grows كتير تكون كأن you have to leave it long time you have to let it go let it grow بحاتي مالتي أبزح حاجة مبزحته إذا كانت distraction مبزحته wealth how is destroyed تيلكايو مبزحته جيزة is because of you don't have critical risk management بحاتي a business you have to have risk management ولا كإتي capital invest تقبر كلها نعملت إتي business كان دحر 9% lose جيرو ن break even وين أبتز نبر كي أخذ ملست كبابت 100% اللي كام على تي بزن رياضة لنا حج مالتي and 5% lose تجر كاي إتي difference بوز حيتريني خا مع سي خاطريو أب 4% خبز حكله so sanction شني اللي كا نبتد نبر كي أخذ ملست مالتي so as comes the George Soros debolo is in a pound short to the government had exentailo it's not whether you're right or wrong but how much money you make when you're right and how much money you lose when you're wrong is you have to be when you're right if you make more money it's more important than when you lose you make small losses malati so the key thing is downside protected when you're in business you have to protect your downside how do you protect your downside ክትፈልጦ ለካ ኢንቨስት ገብሮ ናብነት ፕላምበር ተኾንካ ኢንቨስት ኢን ፕላምቢንግ ስታፍ ተኾነ ነገር ማለት እዩ ቢዝነስ ፕላምቢንግ ካል አይቲፒ ፕላምቢንግ ግበር ሳልተይቲ ግበር ወይ ካ ሞር ፒፕል ሃየር ግበር that's how you could do it instead of inshallah up call it date ኢንቨስት ምግባር ከለመለ ዴት ፈልጦ ነገር which is the risk you don't know ዴት ፈልጦ ኾንካ risk ሃይት ፈልጦ ነው ማለት እዩ you can wipe things out እጅ ብዙሕ ሰብ እንታይ ይብሉ ላይ ንዓይ ከምዚ ትሬዲንግ ገለገለሎ ገለ ከምዝሎ trading so boy you can like trading is like more gambling malati you have to know how to it's probabilistic to gaming and you have to play the game can the shark khod kona like and probability age كله كله because trading انتالو ብዙሕ ሰብ መብዛሕትኦም እዞም investment banking they have more sophisticated ዝኾነ machine ኣለዎም sophisticated ዝኾነ data ኣለዎም እስኻ ግን ሓንቲ ደይ ትፈልጥ ተኾንካ you can make money but at some point you will lose money but if you have good risk management and ፅቡቅ ንፍዕ ተኾንካ ግን you can make ማለት እዩ ግን ንመን easy to trading you have to be sophisticated the idea again is the best way as a company you have to invest money not trade عامي 2024 ورا حمش وارن بافيت كم تفلتوا مالتي ناب أمريكا هيدا نيرة تي shareholders meeting and after meeting كاي صحف نيرة there's five things that he said إن شاء الله I thought well share دي قبل نحن لومي meeting تلا ناسي let me share then share حجن تايد بالنيرسو دخونه invest ويا business دي قال تكن critical دخونه نجاراتي زعيف ما حد يصير تكن تايم management حكي management is the key thing نحنتي company way business تلها تليكا معلتي تي management is the key person بحاتيرو management نتي company drive تجبرو بحاتيرو تاريخه Amazon way Tesla منيهم تمكندي نتن معت مخاين كله أنا مخاين company لوا why Tesla جن تي competitive advantage على is Elon Musk and it's a drive now to innovation now to makes it great business otherwise Tesla is a car company حجتي انتاي دي بلو management تم vision ناتم كنت جزء لك حجنا بنت as a business guy you are the key نتا business مالتي you are the pilot نسرعها and then pilot هون كاجن you have to do it with مش الله with transparency with honesty and you have to do it with مش الله with you have to be innovative نابنت حجي عالم نابي بتاع الحمد لله خرداك خلاله as a business leader نابي تخيل لك أشعو navigate تجرا مالتي تا business guy because technology متس علبسي بزح نجارات automate خونا له نزارة ولينا دحري بزعبة artificial intelligence إذا لهني شيء so there are a lot of money going into artificial intelligence as a management as a leader تاي تجبر لها is it changing it to تبين لها ولا are you making the change now so بزح نجارات كغيري كل جزء جن تاي technology حدش كمتس خلو always كمزي overestimate نقولينا خمزي نزع عالم كغيره يقلا نبلينا but historically internet كغيره هنا كغيره نزع عالم ግን still بزح نقرات more jobs create كيري and the same thing artificial intelligence it will create more jobs but it's different jobs كوني مالتي and انتايرو كالايت انتايل نيروس كمزي admire تقبر سبتليكا أب هودي ولا بدخونه أيتتصبه نوح كيركا رخبهم and connect مش الله life سحات صارع دخونه سبت مش الله كمز admire تقبره سبتلودي وي بتعمي influence impact تقبره كافي وتكاتلو أيتتصبه just go and مش الله جيزة ترغيب رخبهم and invest like an owner بحاسيرون تايد باللبزي invest تقبر كلاها خمس owner كون كمز speculative دبلني عن توي trader راي تكون know what you're investing in and be the business owner كون كا invest تقبر and ثالث for رابعتي point انتهى think long term مبزحت جزء business I think it's كندنا business ضغط لكمان it's short term thinking بحاسيرو مبزحت جزء you have to think long term نبنت حد جزء حد business انتهى يقبر نيرو it's CEO أب روم تعازيس انتهى حاسب نيرو in 10 years انتهى كغير يبل بزح مكيارات دريو visualize جورو مالتي visualize كاتمليس شو انتهى جورو حجي غيره مالتي 10 years ahead على مالتي حجزو as a business guy you have to have some sort of competitive advantage كله كانوا 10 years تايلو تقمزيو okay كمزي بلو تطلو artificial كمزتون انتاي غيرها أنا خبرالن حجي 10 years so advantage كلواني otherwise statistical on a business كغربة and you will see the average business don't survive for long term lastly entirely give back بحالتيرو if you're the luckiest بحالتيرو more wealthy تهونكا always think about the 99% مالتي انتاي make impact ندحر هيوت حليف الكاب هيوسي نتي ده حلفلون ذكرها مالتي نتي دخالي نتي قال so there are 5 things that تنتصحفكون مالتي نسألين دي as a business كل جزء انتالو business is especially capitalism is very brutal you have to either evolve or you will have to die for example study بزعبا ميك ان ويتينغتون انتاي لكاس اب شحن 510 كامبانيز 10 تراي سرفايف جيرن ابزن 7 عامات مالتي اب يو كي is this 1.25%. The probabilistically is very small. So entire mabzahta in business over time either acquire khona or merge khona or kaitafa malati. So it's very small. So when you are in a business, especially a capitalist society, competition maati. Restaurant khoinu maat competition alaka. So how do you win abdi? You have to find niche. Niche كتركب على كال business day go nagar dalo نسخة go تقل. And you have to find an advantage. Otherwise, it comes to the now. It survival 70 years historically. But in Tarina gun abzqaraba gize that S&P 500 mallet is in a US 500 company. It is statistic in the حتى رخيل على علميا company mallet 33 عامت كوين الله مالتي. تنكند قاتن long term كتن حد غلا company قات technology كنا مبزحته food, beverage, tobacco, aerospace, defense, and healthcare. إذا قصالي because healthcare ودسب تعنو كل جزء they will go up to system كله وين healthcare بحاتيرو food كابت necessity بحاتيرو لأناي ولا tobacco كو شجارة غير صحابو كونيو مع التاوسي نوح كتن هذا كل سباتي الله. So addictions لدخونه they always going to be around. Is it different tobacco do you do you so እንታይ ማለት እዩ እቲ ነዊሕ ድፀና ሓጊዜ ከዓ እቲ necessity and provide critical ዝኾነ ነገር ኣብ ሂወትና ደቕርባ ነገር ማለት እዩ ከምዚ ምግቢ ወይ ሕክምና እቲ ኣገዳሲ ዝኾነ ደድልየና ማለት እዩ ሓደ ግዜ ብሎግ ፅሒፈ ነይረ ብዛዕባ ሽንስ በሃላ ናይ ጃፓን ካምፓኒ እየን ሕጂ ኩሉ ግዜ ተንቀን ኣብ ነዊሕ ድፀንሓ ካምፓኒታት ተሪእና እየን ኣብ ጃፓን እየን ዝርከባ حجتي تنتين حجتن كندي ناتن يرين يرنتاي كيرن long term survive كجبراخ إلين and إتي كندنتاي adapt كجبراخ إلين مبزحتو you have to adapt comes Darwin double it's not the stronger survive it's the the one who can adapt كجبر دخل مالتي خمي ولا تهيمن تاريخيكو إتي stronger مبزحتو جزء survive كجبر دخل longer term مالتي تي تخالد strong day كونس a business يدكبي مالتي where come to draw statistics you don't last long because it's competitive تي إنجرا خاص كالد سبالو متي خوش دادلي صح I have to be very critical thinker and you have to think long term مالتي ننتم ده حجسي استو كابتن وحدات كامبانيا 235 عامت جير الله and ناي جابان كامبانيا كما يجمع يرام تاريخهم card games نيرام over time كن what we use Nintendo now comes the video games كلام الله خوينا مالتي then كندي انتين then few reasons then company they lasted long كبابي 100 عامات is had adaptation مالتي they adapt to new technology new things and كلته avoid excessive debt بزح عداي وستانين مالتي تاريخهم مبزحتي جيزين عدا بزح عدا مالتيو excessive leverage عدا حجي صبو عدا له حما عدا له excessive leverage كنبل كلنا عدا خمزي ناي wiped out قبل كادخل مالتي ولا تأسيت كاشيتوس كم توليك اللعلي وتوسيركا it can wipe you out حجي they avoid excessive debt as a business كا كل جزء تاي debt صبوي but you have to use a good debt and that can generate cash flow and it can give you an advantage ab crisis كبتصح كلوسي كمزي كbusiness day وصا كدت كتوسد عليك because أنا عجيك historically خلي أخليه company بزحات company study قبره and one of the things that كل جزء درخو بنتاي excessive debt is always the key thing in business failed قبره so use debt تتكامل debt don't use excessive debt because exogenous event تلون عبنت event خمزي black swan ولا خمزي data تبناه وي ده حسب نارسنا ملتي wipe كقبرنا خلي بزح debt وسيدنا بعدنا vulnerable نخون مالتي cash تليكا و investment تليكا at the same time gun it makes you robust سالسيت entire has long term حسبات company مالتي long term is a key thing بحات your long term تحسب تخنقا تعداها manageable تكون عداها خطوسد because you're thinking about survival and survival is a key thing and then تعود survival key كوينو تعود upside كات تعبيه مالتي but the key thing is to survive and drink bad times, especially bring bad times. Good times, كل business survive قبري. It's interest rate low slow it's easy to access money. The problem you have is comes a crisis كقاتم كله bank شو عدا زي data هيبانين لقاح هيبانين قلي هيبانين شو عندي يتسقم شو عبادة liquidity problem مالتي ولا حدا جزاسي وارن بافيت فلتو تخونكم سي حدا جزا يصحف نير انتاي لوسي قال اي كان يروم سخايلو مو انتاي دا خوينو كساب حجي كمزي بليونير كما حدا يكون يلو مو انتاي لهم he was in a hurry to get rich يلوم نسوسي بقى كتهاويغ نير هابتام كخون يلوم and بزح عدا وسيلو شعو انتاي دبحال كوينو مالتي he had to sell because crisis agatimu he had to sell his holding the share دي قال his was not a business he had to sell it because عدامت يوم مالتي and margin call بلو ابزنا investment حج margin call type بعداته وسيد كامش trade تقبر at the same time and things go against you it's a margin call يدولوا الكاتم brokers top up جورا ويكا أنا عطوينا بلوها so you have to force to sell مالتي Salsati think long term and Rob I think Anto mentioned Gerena long term is key to everything short term as a business you cannot go for the short term you have to think long term كم يجركا business expand to grow كم يجركا advantage not كاتا مع بلو كم يجركا strong business فتر مالتي so the point رابعي تهجنتاي community trust matters نابنت تن سنيش دبلنان company بتعملنا community يحجزان community خا يردوا أنا community انتاي قبل تاريخها مبزحتو جيزة زين كم زين عانت business مبزحتو جيزة they win because as a business مبزحتو جيزة عجانا بزناي إيرترا ويان community قال اخترق لها business there's something missing you الكل جيزة تاي missing it's customer service أبكال restaurant قد كيت كلها you feel special أبناء حابشاقن you don't feel special تفسها قالي حجينا من تاي because it's important to we don't understand it's not Costco حاجة تاريخهم they are just a normal business but it's a business model like Costco تاريخهم is ما راي نقدر مكان all they think about customers كله detail is customers how do they give back to customers so انتاي business win-win يركان دحر مسريد كاو you win مالتي بحاتيرو but win loss يركان دحر مسريد كاو you lose over time so it's always community is important trust customer service and it's a key thing شو انت يفتر سو loyalty brand يفتر it's brand not got strengths هون even Amazon Jeff Bezos حنساب انت customer is always right and we want to be the most customer centric business you know how can Amazon تاريخهم customer service is one of the best it's a rating or even not the best of Google تاريخها but my experience is one of the best and Andrew Carnegie and Lucy hands up no man can become rich unless he enrich others that's the key thing نخالو تدي حاسبنا نحنا ون كنهبت معي نخلينا تبيزنس ناون try by قبرني so always think about others and then in return investment يكوسو you investing good customer service good نتسب كاتبو غير كاخد حزو in return كاتسب word of mouth نسوي نقرالكا تعينديو كمزنديو business وخمزي حقازي تيلمكا كل سب مزاكا شو سخانتاي in return ناتي صبو تقرر لها business كها try بخون so it's a key thing psychologist تايبلو نحادا سب ندحر دخون نقر هيب كايو تسب كمرسل كايدني in a good way نحادا سب حنساب أبزي investment انتاي تقومو نتوم هابتامات مصحف قلقل صدلهم ويتصبو بيرو خبر دبالة شو return انتاي تسبت اتم investor مالتي we expect money بزح كمزي deposit كوغورو and then in return so it's psychological game بحاجيرو and you have to understand it as a business you have to understand how to play this game psychologically today you will lose so I feel like the community now we have to think about customers important and inshallah special to get cam and they will come to your business every day and patience over time sometimes business can be challenging but if we have patience if we think long term over time we could become a great business quality إذا بقد ساكتة خمسي ستوري حزياد مساقيا إن شاء الله long term مالتي حجزي ستوري حرقي زدن بوبكوي رونالد ريد بهال أمريكاوي كمزي أسرعي نيرو بحاجة gas station يسري نيرو بحاتيرو حجي إن داسرعي خلو بحاتيروس he was very good at حبنا تاي he was very good at investing and he was very good at the money malati بحاتيرو cleaners we know minimum wage قليل was it but he was very good at investing and he was very good at like شالو frugal نيرو بزح spending قبر نيرو ወዲ 92 ኮይኑ ምስ I think ምስ መተ he left ከዛ ብ8 ሚሊዮን ዩኒቨርሲቲ ገዲፍሎም ንሶም ከዓ እንታይ ኢሎም እዚ ደኣ ሞ እንታይ I mean ምስ ረኣይ ባክግራውንድስ ከምዛ ኣጥራይ ገለ ነይሩስ ብዙሕ ኣይተፀበዩ ተረኣይዎስ 8 ሚሊዮን ገዲፍሎም ማለት he was the richest man up to town ናቱ ማለት እዩ so ሕጂ እንታይ ደርየና the key thing is ከምዛ ዓንቶ ይበልኮ compounding it works over time ሓደ ፅራይሲ ብኢንቨስቲንግ ከባቢ 8 ሚሊዮን ከመይ ገይሩ accumulate ክገብር ክኢሉ ተልካ it's a time ብሓፂሩ time ተሂብካዮ ገንዘብ ወለድ እዩ time ተሂብካዮ ኣብ ፅቡቅ ኢንቨስት ጌርካ እቲ ገንዘብ ይመፅ እዩ ማለት እዩ so his more advantage ዝነበሮ እንታይ long time investing for a long period of time and he was just investing ካብ ሓደ ማጋዚን እናንበበ ኢንቨስት ዝገብር ነይሩ and he was diversifying over time ስራይዎ ገሊኡ እቲ ካምፓኒ ገሊአን survive ገረን ገሊአን ከዓ ከባቢ ክንደይ 100% ክንደይ ኮይነን ማለት እዩ over time he became very wealthy ማለት እዩ so እንታይ ማለት it can be done as long as you know how to manage risk and how to think long term بحاجة ማለት እዩ that's the key thing over time is consistent investing living below your means that's the key one ኣብዚ ጊዜ ንሪኦ ዘለና ብዙሕ ከምዚ ናይ AI artificial intelligence you know it's a wave of artificial intelligence historically we had waves of you know like railways and aviation and so on but now we are in 6 wave below 4 wave below we don't know but 6 wave ንበሎ ድሓን ሻሎ is AI ጊዜና ኣለና artificial intelligence ከምዚ ድሓስቦ ደለዉ ኩሉ and it will change so many things automate ክገብር business ይብላ ኣለዎ and even when ተሪእኻሲ 330 ቢልዮን ኣብ 2024 ኢንቨስት ገይሩ ኣብ 26,000 AI startup in the last 3 years and እሱ ከንታዩ is competing power ከምዚ ክሪስ ሚለር ሕጂ ፅሒፎ እንታይ ኢሉ ሲ ከምዚ ሓንቲ መፅሓፍ ፅሒፉ ነይሩ chips war ብሎ ሕጂ እንታይ ትቐንዲ ውግእ ሎም እንታይ ኮይኑ ሎ form is a war of semiconductors ትቐንዲ እንታይ in the age of AI is often said that data is the new oil yet the real limitation we face isn't the availability of data but the processing power ሕጂ processing power ከኻበይ is chips so that's the war ትውግእ ሕጂ ወላ ቻይና ና US እንትቐንዲ ውግእ ተሪኻዮ a processing power whoever can have advantage of more processing power will win this race and if you win artificial race تقني دفرو حمسو technology رايكونن you can use it in defense after weapon ستقام كالخ you can destroy so many things بحاتيرو مالتي so that's the key thing the AI is coming and investment يقبر على AI and what as the Nvidia CEO نابنت حجي Nvidia is one of the biggest company GPU producer بحاتيرو GPU هجنتاي تي chip بحاتيرو نزي data center power تقبر بحاتيرو entirely see Nvidia AI will automate له 5 trillion heavy industry has zero كل example he's estimating of course we don't know in fault not the future 5 trillion you ወይ quarter trillion automate كجبر in fault but he's thinking he knows because he works in the industry and تريناها more data is created in the last 3 years than all human history so more data we are transitioning from you know comes the more traditional businesses into more data driven عالم مالتي and ولا تاريخ say China say they import more in chips than oil now حتى انتي دريك هذا semiconductor is the key things critical كوينولون كله power تقبل نبنت كا China say كابل السعودي oil that was China more import تقبله مالتي so it's for example China imported more in oil. In 2023, China chips imported hit 349.5 billion, outpacing Saudi Arabia oil export. Cap Saudi oil Sadosi, China imported more chips by zero. So it shows you chips is a very critical things for to run everything in the world now by zero. And many دعوات هذه and semiconductor بهلا company مالتي chips تسرحها. إذا had studied رأخوي مالتي in the last 90 years 4% of US stock generate 16 trillion حجنتايت data بزنتاي دردالو بحاتيروس اتي data is always concentrated historically اتي wealth has been concentrated in few companies. We can see that as an abnet 7 giant in Iran, Microsoft, Nvidia, Alphabet, which is Google, and Tesla. نسانيا بحاتيرو drive كيرونا دلوقتي كله the most wealth. The same thing, most the income inequality تاريخها historically is always distributed among few percent. كل جزء أنت قال يوم تعبلو we need to have equal society, but we never had equal society. كل جزء societies they always have the distribution more always skewed بتوم high the low مالتي because historically you cannot have equal society. You always wealthy كل جزء distribute قبري among few, and we can see that mis campaign اتي مبزحتن كامبانيغا تن دبلت على خنا وحداتين. The same time كا تاريخها it works in every way. مبزحتهم اب music industry ولا تاريخها تي مبزحتو revenue generate تقبروا few artists do. It just works the same. I mean كم pattern تاريخها because there are some people who are very good at what they do. Whatever دخونا تقبل سب كندهم compete كخونا يكلني. They could be lucky, they could be innovative, we don't know. But that's what you see, pattern تاريخها. And sometimes it's difficult to compete in this space مالتي. Yeah, تي حجن تاي رقيبة كابتن تي ستادي سي تن نبنت أبزي دبالكم 4% تن 4% انتاي key نيروان إلى حزية مثير لهم نبزي مالتي. What do you learn from this 4% business بحات رزيان تن great دبالة business مالتي. What do you learn and you can apply into your business. Listen to visionary leadership as a business owner you have to be visionary. You have to think على ما بيت خير على reverse كده. You have to do now where you want to go. And the second one is you have to be very good at capital allocation, because capital allocation I feel like is one of the most misunderstood, because as a business this is very critical. I've met Warren Buffett invest he always think about capital allocation. If a business has a good return on capital, which is good allocation in capital, profit malati capital, in the circulate gear capital business over time, and there's a growth up to business malati over time, it become compounding machine comes the over time. It's a great business to his investigate over time to business. But good management and good capital allocation over time becomes a compounding machine timality. It would make you wealthy, or it would be very successful business. Comes in Alphabet, Microsoft, and the this is the key things they have. Is in Alphabet, they are dominant. The dominant Alpha Google say كبابي 9% and Google search control to go to search to go. So they are monopoly. ولا عند Google business side اللي نتكلم, you don't have alternative بحاجة they are dominant. That's the third key things. And fourth key things عندهم mention again, customer centric. Customer is everything. It's essential first. They provide something very critical. Google is a meeting when I'm malati. So this is the 5 things we learned from this business's malati. Visionary, smart capital allocation, dominant player, customer centric, essential first, very critical things that we need. Comes in Microsoft, we need the Microsoft system to work, the cloud to store our data and so on. Takigan visionary leadership. Nabnet is a Microsoft, Bill Gates, and Amazon, Jeff Bezos. Kulan leadership. This is the key thing they have in common. So you can apply this into your investment philosophy, into your business, and you can use it. This is basically like a playbook to humanity. This is how you can run your business. If you can do that, your business will be very profitable over time. Especially if you can generate high return on capital on your business, you become very profitable over time. You can see Warren Buffett, the way he invests, what we learned from him. Charlie Munger letter entitled business partner not you entirely kasi. Warren Buffett silika مبزعته ገንዘብ ናቱ ወይ ሃብቱ ካብ 10 investment ይመጽ but majority wealth not even have 4 يمثلوا هجيت 4 كبل كلونتاي بعد Apple and Coca-Cola اتي حجنتاي ابزدر دلو is wealth is not about diversification, but when you have high conviction, go all in, but you have to know something that other people don't know. Because Apple investments governor, most people Thailand why Buffett Thai Apple invest governor, but he was right. Coca-Cola, he was right. What this company have, they have visionary founders, they have good brand. Coca-Cola they felt sepsi all up to rural area Africa Coca-Cola. So this is what we learned from him, and he said a lot of money, a lot of great fortune in the world have been made by owning single wonderful businesses. If you understand the business, you don't need to own many of them. Okay, because Kimsey, as a business owner, what you can learn from it is your business is the one that business not can understand together. So don't try to do too many things, but understanding the business not can and do it well and allocate to business properly, mality. This is Hanti Matahafi and Bavani Rahadi. He calls 100 baggers. 100 baggers to idea and tayu. And I've net £1 investigate kaya, and it can generate 20% over 25 years. It become £80 malati. Wake up assertish investigate ka and it assertish 20% return to get for 25 years, you become 1 million. Is the company they qualify for this sort of stuff malati. Then Netflix 25 years ago, I mean, investor you would have become a millionaire today. This is all companies that they have qualified for 10 عامات 25 عامات invest to go. They made the millionaires malati بحاتيرو 10 شهر invest to go. So the idea is always 100 baggers long term. You have to be patient and you have to think long term. If you find a good business, don't sell, invest in the business and stay for long term. The same thing you can apply for your company. If you can profit 10% in تغييرك بعمد قبل 25 business ka million تنيرا السحج انت 4 times 100 billion تخونا لا مالتي. So it's a powerful way to think about your business. As Buffett تتمهنا smart capital allocation. 20% over time. Antoine Thailand the compounding بحاتير how it works. One PC ثلاثة معالتي double كنت خويناسي كبابي 5.3 million تخوني لنا. The same scenario you can use it here. That's how you can it's a over time 20 profit. The next time it's not 20. It's going to be because it's compounded. It's not simple growth. It's compounded growth. Over time it becomes very powerful. I think this is the most misunderstood. Hopefully, just I'll try to explain it a little bit. Power of buyback. Now, Hujintai comes the cannibal stocks to Bahala Hujintai. The opposite night to company invest holo net share not to cancel to get 99% cancel to get share not ka. A business. You have few things when you want to invest. If there's a good opportunity to invest in your business, you could do that. The opportunity today لقنتاي تقبر عدات غفل ويكا عدات الليكا سالساي way dividend تغفل عن نفسها مالتي. رابعاي you can buy back your shares. This is more for public company. You can use it more. But share not kind of more data. You can see the opposite way. You can actually enrich yourself because I'm not ورشات نيرو 10 قلعتي نيرو ما حدا تم حمش عندنا تيلمسي تورشا حمش يدم كلدلو مالتي. This how explain the closest مالتي وي 10 نيرو حدا تراي كل 9 نويلم تحدا قبلا له مالتي شعتا تا مليون اب 10 تخت مكلت خوينا مميت شحمات خون مالتي اب حدا تبغى كاجن مليون بملء تاوستار له مالتي شو a business you can use this sort of financial engineering and you can use it malati to boost your investment way to shareholding not malati. There are a few companies that they do in eBay, Domino Pizza, Oracle, and we can see Warren Buffett recently Domino investigator Domino Pizza, and that's the idea. If growth are low. They will go to India. They will grow in India. They will grow in China, but they buy back their shares as well. He's thinking, Mishalo, growth are low. At the same time, I growth and you buy back your shares because buyback to get now. It's a million دبلنا عن توي أب عسرت خدت مكال أب حريات مكال لا it becomes more powerful مالتي. Yeah, the حجي more nice stock market يحجزي if just perhaps you is to think about long term. Market timing is speculation, is a speculation, and it's rarely, if ever, pays off. You know, Peter Lynch the بحال مالتي حجي انتاي to study انتاي دبل دلو. نابنت مبزحتكم قاليهم حجي ناب نايدكم قال مالي invest تقولوا تخونكم. Do not worry too much about noise كمزي up to stock market dollar noise مالتي. The reason is if you missed the 20 best days of investment in the S&P 500, which is now America 500 company, in the last 30 years, your return would be 73% less. Because Hansab, it's in the best days and the worst days. So if you miss few percentage in the day, over time, compounded, it can make a big difference. رايح جبزي عنتو 10 معالتي لنا أبز الثلاثة معالتي ميستجركا your return will reduce by 83%. And again, we see study by Fidelity in time like the best investors in time, they are dead. Wake up, it investment natom rasiamolo abi invest. What does it teach us is psychologically we are not good at investing. We are not good at capital allocation type because we always have noises. We want to press can. That's why when you invest for your kids, just allocate it and just that cost averaging cost averaging mallet meet what invest meet. You do that. You don't have to do anything. But if you keep doing things, you try to think you're smart, especially if you don't have the sophistication in financial market, you just don't do it. Just buy an index, don't do anything. Just keep buying. Maybe diversify. If you think there's good opportunity in India, buy Indian index. If you think there's good opportunity in China, do it, but don't do anything apart from that. Just wait, leave it, let it grow. So patience is a key. I think this is what's the best investment advice I received. I think it's our biggest investment advice is to take big risk. I think as a business, you are in a risk business because someone is at some point he wants to take your business. Perhaps you're in a business kasi the competitors are low. If you are in electrician مع electrician so you are always at risk. Someone but you can do to control to go you can have a good service. You could become the best up to that category, but you have to take risk. When we say risk we can to expand you to create other part of the business to employ more people. You shouldn't think small. You have to think big because a business you are in a risk business because business try to increase your asset because equity is going to make you wealthy over time. Business is going to make you wealthy if you're a business owner because they have businesses, they have equity where they have assets. Asset over time can generate cash flow and it will make you wealthy. We have to understand there's between speculation and investment. Speculation is something like Bitcoin. It doesn't generate anything, but it can grow over value. But we don't know anything about it. How it's going to change the world. Wait, cryptocurrencies, we don't know anything about them. They can fail, they can. But business is investment is, there's a cash flow. Property investment is a good investment. There's cash flow. We can calculate it. We can know loss can go, we can make money or so on. Dividend stocks, company profit that's a good investment as well because we can calculate how much dividend due to profit dividend. It gives the FTSE 100 كبابي 3.4% dividend to profit follow. At the same time you can make a capital gain if depend on the market So yes, always think about, are you investing in asset while you're speculating? So speculating don't think you're investing, you're speculating. When you speculate, make sure the speculate to go risk ብዙሓይ ትውሰድ, because it can take you ንኣብነት ኣብ ክሪፕቶ ካብ ዝመፅእ ኣላ ገንዘብ ኣቐምጠላ ተኢሎምካ ሉዝ ክትገብረን ከምዛ እንዳቁማ ትኸይድ ኣለካ ከባይካ ተቐምጥ ኣላ, because otherwise it can wipe you out። ኩሉ እቲ ገንዘብካ ሉዝ ክትገብረላ ትኽእል ኢኻ ማለት እየ። Third is investing in yourself, because I think ኣብቲ ዓንቲ ወይ ድበልኩ Warren Buffett ሓንቲ ነገር ድበላ, because 5 ጥራይ ከምፅእ ኢለ I didn't want to add too many things. Invest in yourself. I think is the biggest thing you can do as a business is you can invest in yourself, read, reflect, and seek the truth and do everything with love. So that's how you can grow your business بحاجة normality, because حنسا مبزحته جيزة in business مبزحته سب انتاي instead of seeking the truth انتاي نقبر we try to find عنا دموس للسبات so they people they agree مسانا. The reality is good. It حكي is gonna set us free. بحاجة حكي مفلات. If you're wrong, you want to know you're wrong, and then you have to admit that you are wrong. That's how you can change things. Society if we have to progress, we have to seek the truth. What's true as a society? See, society ناتنا خمر حدا خال ناتنا حاجة على نتايفل. I think comes herd society na خمزي نباجي حالنا نخير كلاتنا. That's how we are. كال society تاريخها is more كمزي different society. Not again is more كمزي group thinking and so on. And sometimes that comes in tagamalo. You cannot think critically for yourself. You always have to follow the crowd, manati. And following the crowd guy is dangerous sometimes. Yeah, number 4 is never stop learning. قال لي type لك أتا ولا English كروب داي تفتن شالو English قالات حنت تغيل كالومي عمت كوسا لستميتن سوسان حمشن قالاتي خاتغيل قال تبلو مش تدلي أتا بتقريني عندنا منزارب كينا كلاتنا استقريني عندنا نزارب جن تا حنت قال تحس كا خمسة تقولكوا عنتوي compounded over time عمت سلستميتن سوسان حمشن قالات تحس كاتن English كيل كان على خمالتي. So never stop learning. ما مغنيت هايتمت. Just start learn. I mean, education لومي كمان access جرناين فلتنا. دليل you can learn anything you want. ab laptop كاديو ab جيتر في جزء كاديو ab YouTube instead of TikTok يركا إن شاء الله. I mean TikTok كنت بتمرت كله غالي. But learn. That's how you can كاب كل نجار كوت أنا دخل I think ولا خم حبرة السبنا. It's just it's education كا. Na university education ኣይኮነን. It just እቲ ብርሃን ምርካብ እዩ ርእስና ብሓፂሩ. If we can become educated, we can become free as a society. And ንሱ ከዓ ነቶም ደቅና ተሂብናዮም ብሓፂሩ, and that's it. That's pretty much it, what we want to do. To society ይቕየር ማለት እዩ. Because እቲ ቀንዲ ነገር ኣብ society ንሕና ክንገብሮ ንኽእል ኮይና at least we can do it for our kids. And that's the key thing. And the last one is believe in yourself, because if you don't, nobody will. And it doesn't mean comes blind belief, but we have to be honest and we have to, if we are wrong, we have to say we're wrong. Nothing wrong. Perfect. It is perfect. It's not nagan حجن تاع حبرتسبنا comes perfect تكون تدلي ويسبق لخيب لك. But the reality is كلاتنا دكسات perfect يكونان flow لنا. I mean, we are biased toward certain things and كومينا مالتي accept وتقول لك هاي. You can be wrong sometimes, and it's okay. Conclusion. Right. The conclusion حاجة بحس يرنتاي. Great companies are built on strong foundation. And بحاتيروس DNA مالتي. As a business leader, you are the foundation. If you are running your business, you are the foundation. And if you are good, the outcome of business is going to be good. If you are good today, the business is good. So it's you to blame. Comes blame, comes in you. You have to be you. You always have to change and adapt from the development. But it's your DNA. The culture create to go is key. You have to create a good culture, customer centric دهونه culture. Cap Amazon, cap Costco, እንታይ ንማሃር is more they obsess about customers, and customers are the one who bring business behind zero. So create a business that is more on customer basis, customer obsessed. And if you have a great culture, which is the DNA, the CEO, and that will help the business thrive. And be patient behind zero. Over time, time in the market beats time the market. We cannot time the market, but up to market, you can be lucky. If you own a business, sometimes there's opportunity, other business you can buy during crisis where you can grow. So always be patient, but be looking for opportunities. When you find it, concentrate your investment, especially when you have an age. Advantage, concentrate, go all in. If you know something that nobody knows, now net business nabnet had electrician tonka, and if you find way mechanic tonka, mechanic up when you find distressed mechanic mechanic bota, when you see it, when you see this opportunity, not kafet, go all in. Structure gear Ferrari go all in. It can change your life. So and when you find opportunity, do it. And over time, wealth grows exponentially when left untouched. So start early, stay consistent. At the end of the day, not story, create better. As we mentioned, when you are successful, don't forget your society. And the same thing you do. It's just everyone does it, and then that's how we can change our society. I think that's everything. Thank you very much.